YouTube channel. Welcome back to my live stream. This is Jacob Cast 2024. Um, Welcome back to my channel. We're going to talk about Monday Night Raw tonight. Talk about the Monday Night Raw, March 3rd, 2025. We got a lot to talk about on this show. Now, this is the fallout from the interview on Saturday in the Chamber. There's actually a shocking ending to the main event on Monday Night Raw. Now, this video is going to be like an hour long, an hour and 10 minutes. This video is sponsored by my favorite podcaster, Salamanca Sound Dog, JD from New York, Fightful Wrestling, and Just Alec, No DQ, and the other podcasters here. Just want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. Hit that like button, leave a comment. Please subscribe to my channel. Enjoy this video here. Now, before I go through all the podcasters, I just want to talk about Monday Night Raw. Oh yeah, I forgot we had a good amount of commentary. I hate the goddamn commercial, man. Jeez. Alright. Now we can talk about Monday Night Raw. Now this is what we got on Monday Night Raw here. The show opened up with CM Punk. He sounds, now this was uncensored. He sounds off on The Rock and John Cena and what happened at the Chamber. I don't know what we're doing CM Punk. I don't know how we're gonna factor into this if he's gonna main event WrestleMania. I don't know who he's gonna feud with then because we had a great promo here. He shot on he took some shots on The Rock and John Cena for what happened at the Chamber. He got into a great brawl with Seth Rollins. At an appearance next week, Seth Rollins and CM Punk will go one-on-one in a steel cage match, and they will look like they might end the feud. It'll be Madison Square Garden next week, so they'll end the feud. This is clearly setting up the return for Roman Reigns. I think he will return, and maybe he'll go after Seth Rollins or CM Punk. We might get a triple threat match or one-on-one. I don't know. We didn't. I don't think we saw Logan Paul on the show. We don't know if he's gonna wrestle CM Punk or not. We may look at a triple threat match that I'm not interested in seeing because I don't care to see it. I think Reigns and Rollins should be one-on-one. Punk can do something else. Either Logan Paul or we politics his way into main event with John Cena and Cody Rhodes, but I don't think I want to see that. I don't know. But anyway, we got a very good match with Gunther and Otis. Otis got the victory here. He beat Gunther clean. I mean, he beat Otis clean. Gunther dominant. He's your world champion. After he beat Otis, Jey Uso came out, tried to help him, tried to beat up Gunther, but Gunther takes out Jey Uso with the help of A-Town Down Under. I don't know why. I don't know why Grayson Waller and Austin Theory is on this show. But don't know why they're helping Gunther take out Jey Uso. Gunther and Jey Uso are the only build-up match for WrestleMania that they're focusing on this show. Jack Gable hit Lusa leg request reaches a breakthrough. Jack Gable still in Mexico on the tour, whatever. We have to wait till we get back so we can tell the story with the American Made. Lara Valkyria overcomes Ivy Nile in a title showdown. She retained the Women's Intercontinental Champion. John Cena attacked Cody Rhodes in a WWE Ultimate Moment. Oh yeah, it showed the flashback for what happened. You know, John Cena turned heel for the first time in 22 years. We had Penta fight back at Ludwig Kaiser in All Out Melee. So they're still gonna continue their feud. They're still going at it. Penta. Penta had on a nice clothes, nice attire. He's in a feud with Ludwig Kaiser. I heard that I think his brother, what's his name, Ray Phoenix, is gonna get released soon from AEW. We could see the Penta brothers reunite. Maybe they could feud with the New Day or something. I don't know. But Penta, he's stuck in his filler feud for a while. I don't think he'll be on WrestleMania. He's not in no title match. He's not in no big feud. He's just in a filler feud. The War Raiders overcome American Made in a title match. War Raiders retained the title. They beat American Made. We had a segment with Natalia had a strong warning from Maxine Dupree. And the shocking ending right here Io Sky is your new woman world champion. She beat Rhea Ripley in shocking ending. This was awesome. It was a fantastic match. We had the whole thing with Braun Breaker and Finn Balor and the Judgment Day story. Is that it? Or like, is there more? Pretty sure there's gonna be more on the show. We don't know. Alright. Alright, so let me see Denise Salcedo. After you want to show y'all the podcaster first.
And then she lost hers at WrestleMania 34 with Charlotte. And I remember people were like pretty bummed about that. She was on a streak for a while. But in terms of Bianca versus specific to WrestleMania, I definitely want to see her keep going and keep it alive for sure. Anthony Giuliano, thank you so much for the super chat. We got Adriana here.
Get what you say, you don't know where to begin because
Dude, so I had seen that you quote retweeted a post about how they said that there was going to be more twists and turns heading into WrestleMania, and I'm like, maybe they're just exaggerating. We'll see what happens. And then lo and behold, here we are. So let's get to it. We kick things off with, of course, the big thing that sort of ended the show, and that was Rhea Ripley and Io Sky having this match for Rhea's title. Now, Santi, I don't know about you, but me, I'm like, oh yeah, Rhea Ripley is 1000% winning this match, and we're gonna finally get this dream WrestleMania match between Bianca and Rhea. And I think we should have known, maybe we should have seen this coming, because one of the big things that was sort of talked about was how WrestleMania was the road to WrestleMania wasn't feeling that hot. You know, the last couple of weeks ago, it wasn't feeling that hot. It wasn't feeling that crazy. Triple H in that press conference last night kind of talked about how things are starting to get a little, all of a sudden things are starting to heat up, right? And I feel like we should have seen this coming, that this wasn't going to be the predictable ending that we were expecting. And Rhea, unfortunately, was distracted by Bianca Belair in this. She got a little too cocky, a little too frustrated here. And it ended up costing her this match. And Io Sky defeated Rhea Ripley for the title. And as it stands right now, it is Io Sky versus Bianca Belair at WrestleMania. So, Sanji, start wherever you want.
okay, I want to start by saying that, like, kind of based on how things went and where the women's chamber took place as the opener, they could have totally had this at chamber. They should have not had Tiffany and Trish in that tag match. That's entirely forgettable. They should have really leaned into Elimination Chamber. It was an incredibly good and memorable PLE, but had you added this, a great match with this result instead of the kind of token women's tag match that was just sort of there for the sake of a nostalgia pop and a local pop for Trish Stratus. You add this to Elimination Chamber, and all of a sudden, poof, you have one of the best PLEs in the last 5 years had they added that match to this show. Don't get me wrong, I love the concept of any given Monday. You know, you tune into Monday Night Raw, you don't know what's going to happen because now we've had any given Mondays happening back to back weeks with the women's tag titles the previous week. Now the women's world championship this week. I am just so elated and happy for Io Sky. I really thought that they saw Io Sky as a second tier main event. That there was always this feeling that Io Sky, even though she's so good, had Rhea Ripley into the mix, could main event night one. Based on star power and quality of the women's wrestling that those three could deliver, it just kind of depends on, do you want to end the night with a huge women's triple threat match, or do you want to end it with the craziness with Punk and Seth or maybe Roman there? Who knows? But I will say, if you're asking me, Denise, between whatever potential match comes out of Bianca, Rhea, and Io versus Jay versus Gunther, what main events between those two, I'm taking the women.
Yeah. Oh my God. Hearing you say all of this, it still reminds me that we still don't know what Roman's going to do. And I can't imagine Roman not being in this main event. CM Punk, what the hell is he gonna do? Is he gonna get his main event? But speaking specifically though of this match here, you're right in the sense that I also kind of thought that they saw her Io Sky as a second tier top women's champion. And but man, I'm gonna feel a little bit torn here, Santi, because I know this is gonna be a great match. If they do Io and Bianca as this, I know it's gonna be a great match. But here's the thing. My dream match, mine specifically me, was Bianca and Rhea. And so I am hoping that this does become a triple threat because that is the only way. Because I'm thinking, what the hell is Rhea Ripley gonna do if she's out of this match? What the hell is Rhea Ripley going to do for WrestleMania? And I'm just sitting here going, this is something that now, here's the thing though. I don't know about you, but originally when we thought that it was going to be Bianca versus Rhea, I was so torn on who was going to come out winning that. We know Bianca Belair was her streak. We know that Rhea Ripley is a very, very popular person. So I was imagining that they would want to keep the championship on her a longer period of time, considering that she just won it back after, X amount of months and how long it took her to win her title back from Liv Morgan, right? And so now, if we get this match between Bianca and Io, I want Bianca to win this. Or if we do Bianca, Io, and Rhea, I still want Bianca to win this if they do triple threat or not. And the reason for that is just to get her back on top and get her back as a top singles champion. So does this sort of change your perception of what you think might be the outcome for this match and whether or not we're going to see another new champion crown? Or do you think Io completely reigns, has a good strong reign?
Look, I know I went on a little rant there about how it feels like Io Sky is now this like top tier women's talent that's treated like the Biancas and the Rheas of the world. But I still can't help that she's being given the title to give the new champion confetti moment to somebody that's bigger than her in terms of star power, which could be Rhea or Bianca. I think both scenarios I could absolutely see. WWE, I don't see Io Sky walking out. It almost feels like they're giving her the championships to give the big Mania moment in celebration to the bigger name that WWE has over Io Sky.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. And I feel bad because I do love Io Sky. I think she's phenomenal. But it's hard for me to imagine them picking her over Rhea and Bianca when it comes to this WrestleMania match. We do have a couple of super chats to get into. This is from Matthew Campbell, who says Io is the best active women's wrestler in any company at the moment. It's really hard to argue that. I think at the end of the day, it comes down to taste because my favorite current active women's wrestler is Bianca Belair. I think she's top notch when it comes to pro wrestling. Santi, who's your current for the women?
It's literally Io.
Here with a very generous super chat who says, I thought Bianca had a heelish attitude tonight. Plus, Naomi is somewhere in an intensive care unit on life support while she's dancing and skipping around the ring. Bianca is definitely a heel now. See, I still do not see Bianca as a heel. Santi, I trust that she did not know that Naomi had done this evil thing to Jade Cargill.
Listen, have you seen the internet the internet detectives like breaking
No.
little subtle thing?
Ended up leaving that match, which ended up costing her an opportunity to advance in the tournament and become the United States champion, the inaugural United States champion. Why would Bianca do that to herself? A car. Chances are, Santi, you and I get thrown into a car. Well, I'm gonna say what I want and give zero fucks whatsoever about any of it. We had CM Punk call out The Rock, say he called him a bald fraud, saying that he was going through a midlife crisis. Called out John Cena and basically said that it was BS and he had been all of what he had done throughout his career pretending to be a babyface was just a BS and he betrayed all the children, etc. Seth Rollins called out Becky Lynch as part of this, basically telling Becky to come get her man or something like that. And he was on a row here. This basically led to Seth Rollins coming out, and we got a very, very intense brawl that lasted several minutes. They tried to separate them. They kept coming back to each other. We did see them at one point in the back later on in the show fighting once again. This was ugly. This was nasty, Santi, but damn, was it good.
Oh, it was maybe my favorite segment of the entire year so far. Um, you and I were already doing the show. I remember us kind of like goofing and laughing at the crappy brawl that they had going into Raw Netflix. That it just looked like they were miming instead of fighting. This fixed that. That was an awesome brawl. It went into because you watch the international version of Netflix now, right?
Yes, yes. I'm
Okay.
always in Toronto, Canada now.
So they were fighting through the commercial break on Netflix as well. The brawl continued there, and then continued later on in the night until we eventually got that steel cage match at Madison Square Garden. I didn't realize that it was an MSG show next week. Which is, I should have, considering I knew NXT was an MSG. It only makes sense that Raw is there. I literally don't know why I didn't connect those dots. But that promo, the viciousness, that was that's something we haven't seen out of Punk since maybe some of those nasty AEW promos with MJF. I would say.
That collision promo, the one that he went off on Young Bucks and Hangman and said your favorite wrestlers are soft.
Yes, right. That's the unhinged Punk that we miss so dearly because WWE, he's been great on the mic, still the best in the company, but it definitely feels like he's been a lot more controlled. When I saw Punk take off the WWE logo out of the things that he was saying, I'm like, oh, it's pipe bomb time. And the things that he was saying about The Rock, like you said, the midlife crisis, you bald-headed fraud. We're so sick and tired of your dumb shit just coming here with showing your goosebumps. Nobody cares about that. And going to talk about Cena, talking about how like everything that you've been feeding all these kids has just been bullshit. It was just such a good promo, immediately followed by that brawl. It's one of my favorite things that I've seen in a really, really long time on Monday Night Raw. What a great way to start the show. And
as we are in a position right now where it could be Seth versus Roman, or it could be CM Punk versus Roman. Literally, pick a lane, Triple H. We can do either one. We have the time, and they have started telling both of the stars. It's a little bit different with Seth and Roman because they had so much history together, but they have started basically telling both of those stories, and now it's just a matter of which road do we want to go down here with this. And by the way, so at Netflix, the match with CM Punk and Seth Rollins, I thought they were done, by the way. I thought this story was over. I didn't think it was going to continue any further. After what happened at the Elimination Chamber, I'm thinking, oh, snap, this is actually going to be the WrestleMania match, Seth versus CM Punk. So that's what I was expecting. And then when they said it was going to be from Madison Square Garden, I was like you too. I didn't realize that Raw was at Madison Square Garden. I also thought it was only NXT. And the only reason I thought that was because they're doing the Madison Square Garden theater show.
yeah.
Right. So I thought Raw. And so the fact that this is going to be a steel cage match, here's the thing. Seth Rollins lost in a pretty big high profile match to CM Punk on the premiere of Netflix. Obviously, there was a lot of eyeballs on that show. Does he lose again to CM Punk?
Yeah. I think he needs to win.
You think?
I don't want that. I think if Seth is gonna lose, it should be because of Roman. Or maybe the match ends in a no contest and Roman just takes out both of them. And then this is how we do a triple threat. And if that ends up being the triple threat, look, apparently today's podcast theme is triple threat. If they do that triple threat, no title needed, that's main eventing night one. If I said this in a YouTube video, if it weren't for the Cena heel turn, this is in contention for main eventing night two. Because Roman has a history of main eventing without titles on the line like he did with Undertaker. So it's not out of the realm of possibility. But at the very minimum, that's going to main event night one, just on the star power alone.
Dude, I'm so torn right now. Because that's the thing, when we get Roman and CM Punk, I want that to be one-on-one. When we get Roman and Seth, I want that to be one-on-one. And I'm like a bigger CM Punk fan, which is why I want CM Punk to kind of defeat Seth Rollins again. But I also understand that Seth Rollins does need to get a little something in here too. So if CM Punk does win, I do like your scenario Rumble, and he's clearly going to be pissed off at Seth Rollins. So I hope that's the outcome we end up seeing.
Yeah, I do hope so as well. I think that if it was any other time but the road to WrestleMania, I would say we need a clean finish. But I feel based on the venue that we're in at Madison Square Garden, based on the context that we're about to go into the European tour, we're right around the corner from WrestleMania, based on the history that all three of these guys have, I married myself.
Seth. And they don't do a triple threat match. Where does this leave CM Punk for WrestleMania?
Well, nowhere. That's why that's the only place.
Unless they do Logan Paul. I mean, Logan Paul wasn't on the show. Where is he at? Isn't Logan Paul gonna be in WrestleMania? He's usually on WrestleMania. He was on it. He was on WrestleMania like 3 times. Like, why didn't he on? Why didn't he here? Usually Logan Paul is always on WrestleMania. So, and based on the interaction that we got with Punk and Logan Paul, and the fact that Logan Paul eliminated CM Punk in the Rumble, and then CM Punk eliminated Logan Paul in the Chamber, why not do that one-on-one? Have Logan Paul and CM Punk, and then do Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. Those are your two masses. Do we need a triple threat? Because I'm not interested in seeing a triple threat match. I'm not.
Like it's the place to do it. Well, it's like I would have loved just Roman versus Punk, but you know, you pulled the trigger on heel Cena. You pulled the trigger on that. That bullet is out of the chamber. You can't stop that one. I just don't think that right now it makes sense for the favor being to get Punk into the main event of WrestleMania. I feel like because of the context of the heel turn already happening, if the was going to be that the heel turn happened at Mania, then maybe Punk being in that triple threat might make a little bit of sense with how Punk lost in the Elimination Chamber, having a little bit of justification. But now, based on how everything went down with Cena and Cody, that should just be a one-on-one. It really should just be those two. So Punk, we need to fit him somewhere else, and the best place that he fits, and he fits pretty beautifully, is in the Seth and Roman scenario.
I second that. I agree. All right, we got a couple of super chats to get into. We got Rare Gamer 99 here.
Lucha Libre, how to be. I'm surprised you haven't seen Cobra Kai. It's like the most LA thing. Like it's your neck of the woods. Or
Phoenix is officially a free agent who was removed from the AEW roster page. It's been confirmed that he's done with AEW. Now, of course, as many of you guys know, his brother and Penta, they were the Lucha Brothers. And now, pretty much as everybody's assumption is that Rey Fenix is coming to WWE. Dang, are you looking forward to this? Were you sort of like surprised that it finally happened after so many reports and things going back and forth as to whether or not Rey was going to be done with AEW? How'd you feel about it?
I felt relief. Would be the
And just because I do think that Rey Fenix is the stronger performer out of the two, and he tends to, and people that are in a tag team still work.
Backs of the Lucha Brothers. We had a great tag team match today, but in my opinion, the Lucha Brothers are significantly like levels better than the War Raiders and the Creed Brothers, and that's saying a
Like, what a slap in the face for you to even sell your soul to the Rock.
Dude, okay. So I got one question for you before we move on from this super chat. I've had people talking about the possibility of somebody else entering the equation, like creating this new faction, this authority, Travis Scott, The Rock, John Cena. There's somebody that you
hold that would be like, nah, this is BS, the house gonna sell their soul. This and that. Although, actually, now that I think about it, he didn't have a moment with Cody Rhodes where he did say that he would do it. Or did he say he wouldn't? Kind of lost in the
happens at Madison Square Garden, how hype his return is if it does end up happening. Because, like you said, too convoluted. Like the Roman, Seth, and Punk stuff is already so in itself to see Roman trying to back and forth in another feud that's bigger than the one he's already in would be a little bit too much.
That's kind of how I'm feeling too. Ahmed, thank you so much for the super chat. We got E24G who said,
So
All right, now let me are these all like this is Joe Cronin. God damn it with this.
look, at some point I'm gonna need like some help. Bullshit. And then they had to save it somehow. Now maybe they had this idea planned from like when like the Royal Rumble, but when
And there's a lot of people that's already like comparing it to possibly like a Austin Vince type of thing, and that has a big connotation around it because that's considered one of the biggest business.
The opportunity to request a video of your choosing, whether it's a live reaction, hot topic, or review, past, present, or future. Also, don't forget to give thanks. Hit that super thanks if you would like to donate after the fact. You can. Subscription with NordVPN.com/FightOn right now with our.
So now let me show this. Let's see what Salamander had to say. I kind of missed out on a couple because I wasn't on Denise and Santi talking about theirs.
Until St. Patrick's Day, because I think that might be the next time he's even advertised for a show. So it's tough because we didn't have any follow-up whatsoever. Outside of Michael Cole telling us tonight that Cody Rhodes is going to address the situation on SmackDown coming up on Friday. Yeah, Shannon Sharp, that's right. Shannon Sharp was whining. He was whining and complaining on ESPN. I saw that. So with no Rock, no Cena, and no Cody, it was tough, right? It was going to be a tough sell because everybody's so excited and amped up about that angle that we saw the other day. CM Punk and Seth Rollins, they kind of cushioned the blow tonight because they had a tremendous opening segment today. CM Punk was not happy about the events of the Elimination Chamber on Saturday, and what we ended up with was one of the best pull-apart brawls that I have ever seen, certainly in a very long time. In an age where we see so many of them every single week, this was awesome. And so CM Punk and Seth Rollins are now on a collision course for a big match that I'm going to talk about here in a little bit. We also had 3 championship matches. So they tried their best to load the show up tonight with stuff, even though we had the big stuff wasn't going to be there. And the main event on this show was Rhea Ripley defending her Women's World Championship against Io Sky. Now, I don't know that anybody coming into this show honestly believed that Io Sky was going to be walking out with that championship. At best, I think people might have been hopeful that we would maybe not get a clean finish, but it would somehow result in a 3-way match at WrestleMania so that Io can work her way into the match with Rhea and Bianca. And we would end up with a triple threat at WrestleMania with Rhea defending her title. What they did tonight is actually quite incredible because for all the talk a few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, you had so many people talking about the fact that this doesn't feel like WrestleMania, man. This is boring, right? The WrestleMania build, man, it's missing something. It needs some excitement. It's got no life. Where's the excitement for WrestleMania? There was a lot of excitement coming out of the Elimination Chamber, and it rolled on into tonight in terms of unpredictability because they closed the show tonight by Io Sky beating Rhea Ripley to become the new Women's World Champion, which means that Io Sky is going to defend that title now against Bianca Belair as things stand at WrestleMania, and Rhea Ripley is on the outside looking in. Now we know that Rhea Ripley is not going to be on the outside for much longer. She will obviously find her way into this match in some form or fashion. But that was a shocking ending that I don't think anybody saw coming. And it shakes things up that much more now heading into WrestleMania.
Exactly.
Now, I, for one, I'm happy for Io. Io Sky had a tremendous year in 2024.
Yeah, she had a great year with damage control. You know, she won Money in the Bank. She captained the SummerSlam. She dominated with damage control. She had a great feud with Bailey last year.
It started with her as a heel. It
Yeah.
ended with her as a babyface. She's over organically. The fans like Io because Io's fucking great. What's not to like? Io is fantastic. She's a fantastic professional wrestler. She's got a charisma about her. I love Io, and I'm very happy for her now that she has seemingly, I got to put a little star next to it, seemingly guaranteed herself a spot on the WrestleMania card in a major match. Now there is still time between now and WrestleMania. A lot can happen in the next 6 weeks. But as things stand, she's going to be in the Women's World Championship match. And it just shakes things up in a way that makes things a lot of fun to follow. I didn't look at what they did tonight as any sort of, we have to do it just to, shock people. And look, we don't know what their plans are going forward as far as this match. For all we know, Io Sky could drop the belt right back to Rhea Ripley in a few weeks. That may well be what happens. It may yet happen that Rhea Ripley gets the belt back and we end up with Rhea and Bianca one-on-one. But as things stand, it looks like those three are on a collision course and we're going to end up with a triple threat match. And that's great because it gives Io a great spot on the show. I, however, have been waiting a very long time for a singles match between Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair at WrestleMania.
Yeah, me too.
I am hopeful that we will get that singles match at some point in the not too distant future. I can envision a scenario, though, where we don't get it until WrestleMania next year. I think I mentioned this the other day. I was mulling over the possibilities here, and I was a little worried that there might not be enough time for them to really adequately build up a good enough story or a good amount of heat, generate heat between Rhea and Bianca between now and WrestleMania. Could it be a situation where we end up with a triple threat and Bianca maybe walks out of WrestleMania as the champion, not pinning Rhea, which I think could be why Io ends up in the match. And they build to a singles match at next year's WrestleMania, right? Instead of giving it to us now, they give it to us next year and they give it more time to simmer and marinate and build up. I also think that's a possibility as well. But I like the fact that we don't know. We don't know for sure. There's lots of different options and ways now that this can go. I'm not mad about the fact that Io Sky is the world champion. Rhea Ripley is going to now have to find her way into that match. That will play out over the next several weeks. But it was a shocking ending that I don't know that anybody saw coming. And you could tell because go back and watch the end of that match and listen to the reaction of the crowd. The crowd was silent when the match was over. Not because they don't like Io Sky. They were stunned. Nobody in that building in Buffalo tonight, okay? They said it was a sold-out crowd. They had 13,000 people in that building. Nobody in that building was expecting Io Sky to win that title. So when the match was over, it was almost like a shell-shocked reaction from the crowd. That's why they were so quiet. They were just stunned by what they just saw. They couldn't believe it. But I like that how they're keeping you on your toes now going into WrestleMania season, right? The whole Rock and John Cena thing that blew up, the main event picture. And we'll talk more about that when we talk about Punk and Rollins and how one might affect the other. But this is great. This shakes things up heading into WrestleMania in a way that I and a lot of other people were hoping for. This is what a lot of people were hoping for. It keeps you on your toes. It keeps you wondering, okay, which way is this going to go, right? I think I could see where this is going to end up, but I'm not sure now. Right? Oh, they threw a curveball our way. That's what WrestleMania should be about.
Exactly.
Everybody bitches and moans about predictability. Well, guess what? They threw some unpredictable moves at you now. And I appreciate that. Because a couple of weeks ago, I was sitting here just like a lot of you saying, yeah, you know what? This doesn't really feel like the build to WrestleMania. They blew their load last year with Cody's story and the final boss. Now they're going to have to come up with something different. Well, that's what they're doing right now. But I did not see that finish coming. And that was one of, I should say, 3 championship matches that we had on the show today. The other singles title in the women's division was also defended. We had Lyra Valkyria defending her Intercontinental title against Ivy Nile. And if the crowd was quiet there, it wasn't because they were shell-shocked. It was for other reasons. And the tag team titles on the line tonight with the War Raiders defending them against the Creeds. Would American Made finally be able to pick up a win? Or would they continue to be the job squad? That was the question coming into. I'll give you one guess. I give you one guess. Master Gable, by the way, is off. He's off in Mexico, roaming the streets. Wait until I get to that segment. He ran into some very unsavory characters, it looked like today. He's walking around the streets of Mexico in a suit, looking for who we don't know. But CM Punk and Seth Rollins, I mentioned them being on a collision course. They have signed a huge match for Raw next week. They're not waiting until WrestleMania. They're going to be in Madison Square Garden next Monday. We are getting a steel cage match between CM Punk and Seth Rollins. And I have all kinds of ideas about what this means and where it's going to end up going potentially. But CM Punk was in rare form tonight. The CM Punk that we got on this show tonight, that's the fucking CM Punk that I was hoping to see when he came back to this company. Once I saw, okay, he's back, they brought him in, right? There's a certain CM Punk that you remember from the last time you saw him in WWE. And we didn't really get that at first. It took a while for him to start to show up. And it was Drew McIntyre who really was the first one to pull it out of him. But the CM Punk we got tonight was angry. He was pissed off. He called out a whole bunch of people. He put including The Rock and John Cena. He put a bunch of people on notice. And now we have a huge match set up for the show next week, which is great. It's going to be a great match. And we're going to see Roman Reigns back on the show next week. They didn't say that, but it's pretty clear. If there was ever a place for Roman Reigns to make his return, it's going to be in the hallowed halls of Madison Square Garden next week. So now things are starting to pick up. We're getting the big players back on TV. Roman's about to come back. Randy Orton is back. Jade Cargill just came back. John Cena turned heel. The Rock, right? He's popped up now. He's going to be on the show, not every week, but he's going to be on the show. The pieces now look like they're starting to fall into place. So many of these people were MIA. That was part of the problem. You knew that WrestleMania was going to be built around a lot of these people, but they weren't on TV. Now they are. Slowly but surely now they have reemerged. They popped their head up from the ground, and they're finally reemerging. And now WrestleMania is coming together, and it feels fun. Overall, I thought this was a good show tonight. This was a good show. Only 4 matches on this show. But I thought this was a good show. This is your Raw on Netflix review. First one here for the month of March. It is Monday, March 3rd, 2025. I am the Solid Monster. Thank you guys for hanging out with me here on a Monday night. We are starting a brand new week. We had a very busy weekend. And I have to say thank you to everybody who joined me for this right here, the Elimination Chamber review. We had well over 4,000 people here on this channel the other night for what ended up being a very big night. And 60,000, roughly 60,000 views and counting. So if you missed it, it's CM Punk. And he gets out and he is not happy. And he is marching into the building with a purpose. And the camera follows him as he goes through the backstage area, flicks with what he wants to say. Oh, well, look, I mean, if they didn't get kicked those with introducing the and your online environment filled with
IWC.
All right, now let's see what JD from New York has to say. I'm going to show this podcaster. He can give his thoughts and opinions about Monday Night Raw, about what happened on the show. And I'll show the other podcasters.
He stated, acknowledging the perceived clarity after the event. I was told that there are more twists and turns coming. He revealed, if you think you know the Mania card based on what happened at the Elimination Chamber, there are going to be some changes. There's 7 weeks left till Mania, so there's a lot of things that they could do. Brian Alvarez emphasized. As we saw tonight, he wasn't really that far off. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky for the WWE Women's World Heavyweight Championship. I did not expect what we got tonight. You know, I'm still looking for the people that claim Triple H is predictable. I want to see them blame and have a problem with this creative now. Oh, it's boring. Oh, EO sucks, JD. Can't win with you people. I didn't expect it. I'm sitting there fucking jaw dropped like, what the fuck did we just see? EO Sky defeated Rhea Ripley tonight, the WWE Women's World Heavyweight Championship. It didn't really make Rhea Ripley look good. It made Rhea Ripley look like a blithering idiot. I don't know what is with this creative sometimes, man. They make their champions look like geeks. I don't get it. Bianca Belair is on the outside. She's sitting by the commentary table as nothing more than an observer. She's sitting there minding her own business. And all of a sudden she starts clapping for EO, who is on some offense late in the match. And Rhea Ripley stops what she's doing. And she goes out there. And she gets in Bianca Belair's face. What does Bianca Belair have to do with the Women's Championship? She's the challenger at WrestleMania for the Women's Championship. Maybe you should beat EO and then worry about Bianca. It's very unbecoming of Rhea Ripley. We've never seen Rhea Ripley thrown off her game like that before. Maybe that's part of the story. Regardless, Rhea Ripley is preoccupied with Bianca Belair. One thing leads to another, a shoving match. I thought Bianca was going to get her disqualified. I thought we were legitimately going to get Jessica Carr to call the match a disqualification. That would have been fucking ridiculous. That would have been bad if they went off the air with a DQ like that. But one thing led to another. Rhea Ripley was setting up for a avalanche riptide. EO gets out of it. Hurricane Rana down. Over the moonsault. 1, 2, 3. And we have EO Sky as the new WWE Women's World Heavyweight Champion. Going into WrestleMania now. The tentative match in Las Vegas is EO Sky defending that championship now against Bianca Belair. Guys, I think I have a pretty logical sense of what's going on here. I think I have a pretty smart community. Rhea Ripley is not going to be off the WrestleMania card. I don't know what the commotion is about. I don't know what all of the complaining is about. I did some research before I went live tonight, and I got to read this to you because this is the only thing that I could really summarize as far as a logical direction for where they're going here. As of tonight, before this championship match, and now after this championship match, Rhea Ripley has not defeated EO Sky in a one-on-one match in WWE. Not once ever. Their history includes several matches primarily from NXT, Black and Gold, the good old days, where EO Sky consistently came out victorious over Rhea Ripley. In the 2018 Mae Young Classic, this was the semifinals, by the way. I wish they would bring that back. I missed the Mae Young Classic. That was a great fucking tournament. In the 2018 Mae Young Classic, EO defeated Rhea Ripley to advance to the finals in 2018. Later, on NXT proper Black and Gold, they had a no contest match on the May 20th episode of NXT 2020. And EO Sky won the NXT Women's Championship in a triple threat involving Rhea Ripley and the Android. Remember that time when Charlotte Flair went down to NXT and destroyed that division because she had nothing else to do. She got bored. That was at In Your House. That was when WWE for the NXT brand brought back In Your House from the 90s. Remember that? That was back in June of 2020. EO then successfully defended the title against Rhea Ripley on November 18th as well, 2020. On the main roster, she still has not defeated EO Sky on the main roster, and she remains undefeated, EO, against Rhea Ripley. Folks, it is very clear where they're going with this. This is the only thing I could really come up with. EO owns Rhea. Triple H has been coined as too predictable. Oh, Triple H is too predictable. Oh, Triple H is safe. Okay. Sure, he has been safe. I don't think anybody's denying that. He was safe at Survivor Series. He was safe on Saturday Night's Main Event. He was safe on January 6th debut on Netflix. For Monday Night Raw, he was safe on January 25th. Jey Uso wins the Royal Rumble. Everybody has a fucking seizure over it. And everybody's complaining about the fact that Triple H is a terrible booker. The one guy that nobody gave a fucking chance of winning the Royal Rumble won the Royal Rumble. Then we get the Elimination Chamber. You saw what happened there. One of the best moments in the history of WWE. Probably one of the best pay-per-views ever. Elimination Chamber 2025. And now tonight. So the guy went from Rumble to Chamber to Raw after Chamber, making unpredictable, nobody would think of decisions. And people are still complaining. Do I like this decision? I don't really care one way or another. I just want to be fucking entertained. Rhea Ripley taking the championship into WrestleMania with no struggle in some circles may feel boring. You got one way of looking at this. It was either a Rhea Ripley and Bianca one-on-one match, with Bianca winning and Bianca getting the championship, and we go back to the boring days of Bianca Belair as the women's world champion. Or, remember, she's undefeated at WrestleMania too, so that's going to be something to keep an eye out for as well. Or, you do what you did tonight, and you give Io the championship, and you chase with Rhea going into WrestleMania, getting her win back over Io. A lot of you guys are maybe feeling, maybe it should have been Rhea versus Bianca one-on-one. I don't know about you. I don't want to see Rhea versus Bianca, which is probably the biggest match in the entire women's division right now. I don't want to see that built over 7 weeks. That's just me. I think that deserves 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 months of build. Multiple matches in between. Why start it now? Give Rhea some struggle. Give Rhea some struggle and have her chase Io and make it that story going into WrestleMania. The eternal struggle of Rhea now can't beat Io Sky. Now the story is she can't beat Io. What is she going to do to get back to that? How is she going to get back into this match and get a championship match at WrestleMania? Instead of taking Rhea and having her win tonight, one-on-one versus Bianca. There you go. There you go, man. It's all over. Very linear, very straightforward path. I'd much rather the twists and turns because WWE has now the option to be a little bit more creative. You give Rhea Ripley's character a little bit more depth. You give Rhea Ripley's character a little bit more struggle. You give Rhea Ripley's character a little bit more triumph on the road to WrestleMania. Not only is she now basically chasing the women's championship to get it back, but she also cannot beat Io. And she's going to do whatever she can to beat Io. But she's also got Bianca Belair to worry about now as well, so it's going to be double as hard. I don't mind the decision that they made. I don't. It keeps you guessing. Nobody expected a title change tonight. It adds layers to Rhea Ripley's character. It gives her now not one but 2 things to chase after on WrestleMania's biggest season, or the WWE's biggest season on the road to WrestleMania. And then you got Bianca Belair looming, who's going to be an even bigger threat than anybody else that Rhea has had in the last 18 months. So why is anybody complaining about this? You wanted WrestleMania season, you wanted excitement, you wanted unpredictability. The guy's giving it to you on a silver fucking platter, and half of you are still fucking complaining. Can't win. Can't win. I enjoyed what they did tonight. I like it. I don't know why everybody else is having a problem with it. Seriously. Then you'll get the comments, oh, JD is a grifter. If this happened on AEW, you'd be shitting on it. Well, give me some fucking story on AEW, and then maybe I'll assess the situation. They got nothing going on over there. So I can't even compare. I like it. I think this is a good move. Io is now the champion walking in to WrestleMania. Everybody, oh, I want Io to win the championship. Oh, I want Io to get a WrestleMania moment. He gave you what you wanted, and you're still bitching. Io walks into WrestleMania. Io's on the WrestleMania card. Io's the world champion, gets the WrestleMania moment. Rhea now has 2 layers of fucking story going into WrestleMania, and we got Bianca Belair with her shadow looming over the fucking Raw Women's division. I don't know what you want. I really don't understand what you people want. This is a good move. I hate using this terminology, but I'm going to use it here. Let it play out. I think after what we got at the Elimination Chamber, I think we should see it through before we start fucking complaining. I enjoyed what that did for the women's division. Because that division, especially on Monday nights, needs a little oomph. Needs a shot of adrenaline. Glad that they did it. Don't mind the decision that they made tonight. The other thing that happened tonight, CM Punk came out and he cut one fiery promo. This might have been the most fiery promo that CM Punk has cut since he's been back in WWE. He basically did not do any of his shtick. He didn't do his clobbering time. He barely interacted with the audience. He made a beeline from his rent-a-vehicle through the backstage area, through Gorilla, out to the stage, and he made a beeline to the ring, to the commentary table, and he stood on top of the commentary table and called out everybody that did him wrong at the Elimination Chamber. He called out John Cena, he called out The Rock, and he called out Seth Rollins before he could say anything about Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins was out there interrupting CM Punk's promo, and there was a massive brawl that happened tonight on Monday Night Raw that left us all saying there's no way they do not book Seth Rollins and CM Punk at WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas. I said, sure, that's a possibility. Then we got the overwhelming shadow of Roman Reigns and where he fits into all that, because Seth Rollins was the last one to put Roman Reigns out of commission for several weeks following the Royal Rumble. He's going to be due back imminently. I don't want Roman Reigns involved with CM Punk. I don't. I do, but not right now. I do, but not at WrestleMania. I don't want them at this year's WrestleMania. I don't. I don't want a triple threat match. I don't want a one-on-one match yet. It has nothing to do with Punk and Reigns. Nothing. Punk has nothing to do with Roman Reigns outside of Paul Heyman owes CM Punk a favor, and Roman wants to know what it is because he wants to know if it directly affects him. And CM Punk and Paul Heyman's dynamic. Roman has a problem with that. Roman has no other problem with CM Punk. CM Punk only eliminated him from the Royal Rumble. But it's not the one thing that Roman is going to look for when he comes back. The one thing he's going to make a beeline for is Seth Rollins after what Rollins did to him after they were both eliminated by CM Punk at the Royal Rumble. A stomp her around the world. Curb stomp on the floor. Literally left him out for weeks, quote unquote. Wrote him off TV. That's what I want to see. So Punk calling out Rollins, I said, maybe WrestleMania, maybe not. And I said the follow-up tweet tonight, which, aged like fine wine, I would do Punk and Rollins, too, next week, March 10th, Madison Square Garden. And I would have Roman Reigns interfere and go after Seth Rollins. That's what I would do. WWE must have heard me, or I'm just that fucking good. Because they did book the match. It's happening next week in New York City at Madison Square Garden. Not one-on-one, standard. It's a one-on-one match inside a steel cage. So for all the Punk naysayers, oh, he doesn't work. Guy's been back. He's been in a strap match. He's been in a Hell in a Cell. He's been in a War Games. He's been in a Rumble. He's been in an Elimination Chamber. And now he's in a fucking steel cage. If anybody ever says CM Punk ain't working in his way back to WWE, you're fucking out of here, bro.
You're out of here, man. You're a complete blithering fucking idiot. The guy is working his ass off. He don't have to do half the shit he's doing. Look at all the matches that he's put himself in. He's going through the gauntlet. Steel cage match, Madison Square Garden. One-on-one with Seth Rollins. I have Punk beat Rollins. I have Reigns interfere, showing face, looking for revenge on Seth Rollins for what happened at the Royal Rumble. I am then done with Punk and Rollins until to be determined.
Yeah, I think it's time we move on. It's time that we move on from Punk and Rollins. This had no reason carrying on to WrestleMania. The feud have been long enough. Punk need to win, and they need to move on. Rollins and Reigns do it. Punk can wrestle Logan Paul for all I care. He can wrestle Logan Paul, because Logan Paul had to be at WrestleMania. He been at WrestleMania on the last 3 times, so I think Logan Paul and Punk, but they teased it too. They foreshadowed it, so you might well do that. And then you can do Punk and Rollins, and that's it. One-on-one matches are fine. We don't need a triple threat match. If we're getting a triple threat match with the woman, with Io, Bianca, and Rhea, then we don't need one for the men. And for what? There's nothing on the line. What the fuck are they fighting over? There's no reason for a triple threat match. Punk and Reigns, save that for. Well, I would say save it for SummerSlam.
Maybe when Punk wins the championship, maybe Rollins can challenge Punk at some point in the near future when Punk wins the WWE Championship. After next week, I am done. I'm moving on to Reigns and Rollins. That history deserves a WrestleMania match. Tie it all up, put it in a package, a pretty little red bow on it, and send it off. Goodbye. I'm doing Reigns and Rollins. That is a WrestleMania match that people have been asking for way longer than a CM Punk and Roman Reigns match. We will get Punk and Reigns. Not yet. We will get Reigns and Rollins, and WrestleMania is the place to do it. You tie that up, it makes more sense because there's a physical aspect to Reigns and Rollins more so than there is Reigns and Punk. Now everybody's asking, what do you do with CM Punk? What do you do with CM Punk?
Logan Paul.
I don't know what you do with CM Punk. Again, I'm going to emphatically say I don't want to see a triple threat match. I don't. One-on-one. That's it. One-on-one. I'm going to make 2 bold predictions right now. I love making predictions, man. I'm going to throw this out there. I don't know if anybody's going to be talking about this. If you see anybody running with this, you heard it right here first. Clip it. Reigns and Rollins at WrestleMania. That's the match. CM Punk called out John Cena, and he called out The Rock. CM Punk told Cody a few weeks ago, I'm coming for you at WrestleMania, but I'm not going to stab you in the back. I'm going to stab you in the front. I'm a true friend, and a true friend stabs you in the front. It clearly was a friend to Cody Rhodes, and he stabbed him in the back. CM Punk all of a sudden now is a part-time fortune teller. This is a thing with him. He makes these predictions, and they just somehow come. He's like fucking Nostradamus out there. CM Punk is the only friend. He said it himself. CM Punk is Cody's friend. They are great friends. Cody's going to need backup on this road to WrestleMania now that he's got the 2-man power trip of Rock Cena right there in front of him. Cody's not going to battle us alone. There's no way. CM Punk has solidified himself more so in the Cody Rock Cena saga than he has Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. Reigns is going to come back and go after Rollins. That's a separate thing. But Punk, he called out Cena and Rock before he even made a mention of Seth Rollins. They're going to tie this up next week. Roman Reigns is going to show up. Their WrestleMania program is going to be on and going. And CM Punk is going to join the fight with Cody against Rock and John Cena. I'm making 2 predictions right now. It's either one or the other. I know we don't want to rinse and repeat of what's going on here. I know we don't want that. I'm using the 2-night format. I am. I'm using the 2-night format again for WrestleMania. I like it. Do it this year. Don't do it again next year. You're going to blow through it and you're going to make it not special. But with Rock back, you're going to do a 2-night format. All WWE needs to do is come up with some stakes, to come up with a reward at the end of the rainbow. I'm going to go Punk and Cody teaming up night one against Rock and John Cena. I don't know what would be on the line. I don't know what the prize at the end of the tunnel is going to be. I don't know how it affects night two coming out of night one. But I'm going and doing that.
I don't think that's going to
If
happen.
you want to be different and you want to switch it up, maybe we do a 6-man tag team match instead of doing the same thing that we did last year at 40 with Rollins and Cody against Roman and Rock. Punk and Cody against Rock and Cena. I believe Cena is going to win the WWE Championship this year. I think Rock wrestles at WrestleMania. I think Rock has a direct effect on Cody losing the championship on night two. If you don't want to do that tag team match, you do. CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Cody Rhodes. Roman Reigns also told Cody Rhodes way back in October when they were on the Georgia football field, the college football field. Remember that promo where they met on the 50-yard line? Cody, all he asked for Roman was to have his back, and Roman gave him his word that I will have your back. There's no better time to have this guy's fucking back than right now after what happened on Saturday night. Roman, Punk, and Cody versus Rollins, who will be revealed as the third man, Rock, and Cena. Boom. I don't know if there's going to be a third man. I just threw that in there, but everybody's making a big deal about Rock throwing up the fucking 2. I don't know what that means. The numbers, the finger points, I don't know what it means. 1, 2, 3, I don't know. Is there other men involved in this thing?
Mm-hmm.
Rollins is so demented that he wants to stop Reigns and Punk that he'd actually join The Rock. That's what I'm doing.
Well, that would make sense.
That's what I'm doing.
After last year,
Roman Reigns and CM Punk are the only 2 allies that Cody Rhodes has right now. Reigns gave him his word, and Punk basically told him, we're great friends. I'm not going to stab you in the back, I'm going to stab you in the front. You're going to know when I'm coming. Sounds like he's got some allies in this fight, if you ask me. Imagine this year we go from last year, Rock and Rollins on opposite ends, to them teaming this year just because of the fucking hatred that is consumed Rollins in regards to Punk and Roman Reigns. I'm doing it. Triple threat, or not triple threat, 6-man tag or tag team match this year at WrestleMania. Boom. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I got from tonight's open Punk moving on from Rollins, beating Rollins. Reigns shows up next week. We get Reigns and Rollins at Mania on night 2. And then we get Punk getting his WrestleMania main event, teaming with Cody Rhodes against The Rock and John Cena. And from there, Cody loses the championship. Cena's the new champion. Cody's got a chase. All thanks to The Rock. We get Punk and Cena, Rock and Cody at this year's SummerSlam. Boom. That's the way I'm doing it.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing it too. I also predicted that on my channel, on this channel here. They have to. The Rock had to play a factor in this main event because Cody broke The Rock's heart at the Chamber. The Rock gonna break his heart. The Rock said at the Chamber, your dream dies. So it had to be Rock screwing over Cody. Cody and John Cena are gonna be a one-on-one match. It had to be. It just made sense. And it can't end clean. Cody's not losing clean. John Cena's not losing clean. Not as a heel. That's not. It had to be a screwy finish. Either maybe John Cena cheats to win. The Rock helps Cena win. He screws over Cody, and then we do Cody and Rock at SummerSlam. We can do Cena and Punk at SummerSlam as well. That's what I'm doing.
Someone else told me something regarding Money in the Bank tonight. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait to see how things play out here. Some people that I spoke to today don't think John Cena is gonna win the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. More so, he's gonna win Money in the Bank. And the Money in the
I don't believe that. Wouldn't that be a waste? John Cena don't need Money in the Bank. He's already won Money in the Bank, and for what? Is he really gonna cash in? Because you can't waste Money in the Bank. John Cena doesn't need money in bank.
Bank is going to be used to turn him back to a babyface because he's going to realize that The Rock has been manipulating him and he doesn't want to be on the wrong side of history.
Well, that don't make any sense.
I don't know where they go.
Yeah, me neither.
6-man tag or tag team match, I do think that could be a massive main event. They want to make it bigger. All you got to do is add an extra guy on each end. They said this WrestleMania is going to be bigger than last year. How the fuck are you going to do it? How are you going to do it? Rock's got to be involved. Punk is going to be involved. Reigns is going to be involved. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But tonight's Monday Night Raw was a banger show. Great wrestling. They forwarded some stories. And everything is clicking on the road to WrestleMania. And I am super excited about what's going on, man. It's going to be one Monday night. We got CM Punk opening the show, man. Like I said, I'm a punker. I'm a CM Punk guy. Don't give a shit what he did anywhere else. I'm a Punk guy through and through, man. Love CM Punk.
Yeah,
One of my favorites ever.
Yeah, me too. CM Punk was my favorite of all time. I grew up loving CM Punk when he was when he came to the company, when he was in ECW, when he was in WWE. I was a fan of the Best in the World. I was a fan of the Dreadheads. CM Punk is awesome.
The guy has come to work. Like this guy relived and fucking threw back to the 1997 SummerSlam with Drew McIntyre, with Seth Rollins as a special guest referee, in one of the most classic WWF championship matches of all time with Undertaker and Bret the Hitman Hart. They took pages out of that championship match. But you want to swing it. That was the AEW championship. CM Punk never lost the championship. That was his title. He was never pinned. He had to relinquish it because of what happened to Brawl Out. He won the championship only to relinquish it. Then they gave it to Jon Moxley, who won an eliminator tournament going into Grand Slam that year. Punk never lost the championship. He won the title back only to have it stripped away because of what happened. So for all the people claiming he wore a fake championship on the first episode of Collision, which, by the way, the show's never been the same since. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but that was the real AEW World's title. Wow. Thanks for bringing that to my attention, JD. I didn't know that. I'm a fucking idiot. Thanks for clearing it up for me. I see everything. See everything. It's not a fake title. The People's Championship is not a recognized championship. He then addressed John Cena. Says they can now.
Alright, here are the highlights to Monday Night Raw. Io Sky captured the Women's World Championship. She beat Rhea Ripley. Braun Breaker repelled the Judgment Day Embers again. On the end of that. Alright. I think I mentioned everything. Oh yeah, I forgot. I wanted to talk about the news and rumors. What else happened in WWE? There's the chamber. Now here are the news and rumors here. We had WWE employees not happy. I'm gonna read them.
There was a report from WrestleNomics this week about morale among WWE employees fading fast in a story titled WWE Employees Benefits and Raises Limited as Record Financial Performance Rewards Shareholders and Executives.
It says here WWE employee morale fading fast as the company enjoys sweeping profits and removes certain perks and incentive transitioning offering to them. They feel they are underpaid for the work they do and are worried that a TKO adds more to profit. They may be stuck with even more work for little in return.
WWE continues to post record financial results following its merger into TKO. Employees say that they are seeing cutbacks in benefits and fewer promotions than expected. Multiple current WWE employees, speaking under the condition of anonymity, described to WrestleNomics a decline in morale tied to reduced benefits, limited pay increases, and heavier workloads as the company integrates with UFC. Employees also pointed to a growing disconnect between corporate messaging and their daily experiences, while WWE management has emphasized the value of its workforce at town hall meetings. Multiple staff said that they feel increasingly undervalued. A key reason for the merger was to improve profitability by consolidating services under an. Since the merger was completed, the stock price has climbed more than 50% over the past 18 months, meaning that employees lost access to a benefit that would have allowed them to invest in the company's growth at a discounted rate. The removal of the WWE Superstar program, a peer recognition initiative that allowed employees to reward each other with points redeemable.
Now this might take a long time, so
WrestleNomics this week.
now the other news and rumors, as you guys know, the NXT Roadblock is staffed. NXT Invasion, the Hardy Boys return. Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy were on NXT last week.
I watched NXT this week. They were.
So it says here that big winner take all match coming up with Gula and Stephanie. Report on who been banged up lately. Obi confronts Moose, who from TNA. The Hardy return to WWE television, and Ricky Saint made its in-ring debut.
We're at the Brady Music Center in Cincinnati, the same place that AEW held Dynamite in January. I like the look of that venue a lot, and I enjoyed the show. Some big TNA appearances and the in-ring debut of Ricky Saints. They are really loading up that Roadblock show. Not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday. They're going to be at the theater at Madison Square Garden, and they are putting together one hell of a card for that show. By the way, Tubi TV, which is carrying the new WWE Evolve show this week, it's going to be airing every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Tubi has now added past seasons of NXT to the service for free. So it's not the complete archive of shows. And ever since they went over to the CW, I think the CW only has CW NXT. How does it feel?
Oh wow, we can spot your dehydration problem.
I watched NXT this week.
I think that's about it. The news and rumors. Shocking Johnson heel turn to happen on Saturday. We really completely just thought over losing the title. Io Sky celebrated winning the championship with Dakota. We have Lyra looking to WrestleMania after beating Ivy. I don't think she'll be in WrestleMania. I don't think who's he gonna defend again? Probably not. Probably no one. Will wear the gear enough for WrestleMania challenge? I doubt it. They said that there were only 4 matches on this show. I think the best part was CM Punk and Seth Rollins. That was the opener. And then the best part was the main event. The middle was whatever. It was decent. Well, I might as well stop the video. I think I made it long enough. Just want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. Hit that like button. Leave a comment. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. I'll be back with more.
So Breakker enters the ring, and he took a sling blade from Balor. Breakker fought back.
Again, the crowd. I don't know what it is, man. The Creeds, they don't really get a lot of reaction when Chad Gable's not out there. It sucks. They're too good to not get a reaction. Chad Gable's the heat magnet. Hopefully that kind of rubs off on him a little bit more so when he comes back. But man, the War Raiders, they get no reaction. and it's fucking sad. They got a banger theme. They look the part. I remember during the days of Black and Gold, man, these guys were over as fuck at Full Sail. Every week they came out 400, 500 deep at Full Sail chanting war along with their theme. No, nobody does anything. These fans don't even react to the War Raiders, and I'm trying to figure out why. They're cool, they're legit. The fuck are we doing? This match went 12 minutes and started to pick up. The crowd started to get into it finally around 8, 9 minutes in. It took them forever to get there. But the thing with the War Raiders is they might not get a reaction, but they're so good at what they do, they always get the reaction. But by the time we get there, it's way too late. So I don't know what we got to do. The women, Lyra, Dakota, Ivy, all the undercard women, War Raiders, the Creeds, none of these guys, none of these men and women are getting reactions. I don't know why.
Well, because no one cares, and they're not important. The War Raiders haven't done shit with those tag team titles. They haven't done shit to where no one cares. They hadn't had a good run. They're transitional champion. I'm just waiting till they lose it, hopefully at WrestleMania, to the New Day. And Lyra Valkyria gets no reaction. Crowd didn't know how to react to her. She's trying, but they already buried her by having her lose clean a couple of weeks ago. And she's not Ivy Nile was not a credible challenger that people may be interested in going after this IC title.
Something's got to be done there. We got to figure something out. Last, not flush. Everything else hit before he hit Aaron. He gets a 2 count off the 450, which is a.
Deal, you get it right here. Go fuck yourself. That's right. That's right. That was my favorite moment right there. What was the last?
Shooting star press for a 2 count. Pat
Used an F-bomb once on Raw, actually. It was the Rock and Chris. I'll never forget it. It was the Rock and Chris Jericho.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna end the video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. Hit that like button. Leave a comment. Let me know what y'all think about the Monday Night Raw review. Until next time, I'll see y'all later.